Alright guys, so this is my dad. This is 1965 Bug. We bought it as a father-son project, and I had to go to college and he had to move away. I'll put up the picture right here of when we first bought it. I'm standing in front of it, but I'm gonna let him tell you guys about it.
Alright, well hello everybody, I'm Dan. Daniel's dad, obviously, as he said. So this is a 65 VW Bug, factory sunroof. Bought this in Southern California. It'd been sitting in a garage for many, many decades. But back in the late 80s, early 90s, the best I can tell was when the paint and bodywork was done, as well as the chroming of the bumpers. So when we got the car, it was basically a rolling chassis, no engine. It had a front end on it, it had the transaxle in it, but really nothing else. So we had a lot of the parts, but still had to find a lot more. Like the pop-out rear windows, had to get the vent wings. He had the aluminum molding, but I wanted the look of the stainless steel. But I didn't have door handles, so I bought new door handles from Wolfsburg West that are keyed the same as the ignition. So, you know, didn't have the running boards, so I got those from Wolfsburg West. They seem to have the best quality products out there right now. So I've been slowly buying the stuff. Got a new wiring harness, so ran a brand new wiring loom throughout the whole car. When I did it, I ran extra wires for oil pressure, oil temp, and tachometer. And
So those right here.
Yep. And I ran those along with the factory wires, so they follow the same path. So I can have all that extra stuff. Even ran an extra wire, so if later on when I put a bigger motor, I want to put on an external oil cooler to keep it cool, I will. So I went with BRMs with 135/65R Continental tires, which are actually they go on smart cars. But I upgraded to disc brakes on this, so when you do disc brakes, everything gets a little bit wider. So I bought a 2-inch narrowed front beam.
Yeah, you can see it's all brand new under there.
And so the spindles are also 2.5-inch drop. The beam is adjustable, so I can literally set this on the ground. Really, I can only raise the car up about another inch in the front. And the rear is sitting at stock height. So these are 6.5 wide, 15 BRMs, running a 215, I believe 75R15 in the rear. So they fill up the wheel well real nicely.
Nice.
So then I took the motor out of our dune buggy that Daniel learned to drive on, actually a stick out in the desert, Superstition Mountain, Ocotillo Wells, and I dressed it up for the street, so I had to rebuild the carbs.
Dual 44 Webers?
Yeah, dual 44 Webers. So I've cleaned them all out, rebuilt them. Just kind of cleaned some things up, relocated the coil. Went with the Pertronics billet distributor and a 4,500 watt or ohm or whatever the hell it is coil. Went with the MST serpentine belt. So this motor does spin somewhat high RPMs, 6,500, 7,000. So I went with the welded balance fan in there so it won't implode and blow everything apart. The motor is full flow, so I am running the stock doghouse cooler here in the back, and all the tin that goes with it. And then, so it's full flow, and I relocated the oil filter.
Oh yeah, this is interesting.
Under there.
It's tucked way up here. Normally it would be hanging lower.
So I wrapped the exhaust with some heat wrap, and then also shielded the oil lines.
Yeah.
And really by doing that, I lowered my driving temperature from usually I'd run about 210, but I put on that exhaust wrap and the oil filter jackets or line jackets, and I run about 180, 185 now, and that's even when I'm getting on it, tearing it up.
Nice.
So then this on the interior. So there's going to be another video of the shifter install, but so the interior isn't done. I went with a smaller aftermarket steering wheel, but the dash isn't cut. This is a aftermarket radio, so it's got two aux, a mic, so you can Bluetooth to it, USB hookup. And I'll run all my wires under the carpet before I put in the carpet. So Dynamat, very expensive. So I looked online, found some stuff that is comparable, and it really makes a difference. So I done that. I've done the doors.
It's in the doors.
Up in the
wheel wells.
front, in the back, back there. And I'll also put the standard jute pad under the carpet, which will further help sound deaden it.
Yep.
But so I'm looking for some seats to put in here. But this stuff really makes a difference if you listen to the sound. That's solid.
Yep.
Normally it's real tinny. But I had to, the stuff I was missing were, I had the door mechanisms, but I didn't have any of the window regulators and all that assembly. Had part of the tracks, but I had to get all new seals, the vent wings.
Yeah, the vent wings are really cool on this car. I wish my Miata had these.
So, and here's the sunroof. So I got to find my screw, but basically you just,
boom.
you know, no power windows here. All the way back. And
he did all new seals right here. So when you shut this thing, it seals up actually pretty nice.
And so coming to the front, I got to buy all the turn signal assemblies, everything, but in the front it's never been hit, so it's real straight. This is a carpet kit I got from TMI. I haven't had time to put it in yet.
Yeah.
But I just threw it in there. So it's been painted inside and out. Here's all the wiring. It's kind of tucked up right now. I'm going to clean it up. Here's the additional wires I told you about I ran with the factory loom. But I'll clean all this up, get them all routed together, you know, shrink wrap, all that good stuff. Put in a new tank. The other one was kind of rusted inside. You know, I got the factory jack. I had to buy the chrome for the headlights. Got H4s in there, so they're brighter than the normal stuff. Yeah, it's a really clean, straight car, and feel really fortunate to have the opportunity to buy this car and build it. It was our intent that Daniel and I would build it together, but I'm in the Navy, so I moved back to Guam. He went to college, and then when I left Guam, I came here to Jacksonville, Florida, and I wanted to get the car on the road. He wasn't here, so I just built it. But Daniel just came in town for the Florida Bug Jam 29. I'm sure he'll have some pictures up there, maybe some short videos.
Yeah, I'll have a video up before this one, I think, so they'll be able to check that out.
And, you know, yeah.
And he also got this roof rack at the Bug Jam, right?
Yes.
So I like this.
It's an aftermarket reproduction, but
it's cool with the wood slat. It kind of goes with this Bahama blue, right? It's a color.
it's a factory VW color for 1965. It's L81. I'm fairly confident of that. I didn't paint the car, so I don't know. Like I say, it was done when I unwrapped the chrome. The newspaper was 1983. Some of the stuff I was wrapping that was painted was 1989, 1990, 1991. So you figure a lot of those shops, you know, they may have newspaper laying around for a couple of years. So I think it's safe to say it was painted late 80s, early 90s, and all the chrome work. So these are all, you know, the factory bumpers, factory overriders. So these are the overriders. And one thing that a lot of people miss out on when they do their bumpers is the support that goes in the back.
Yep.
So granted, it's not a 5-mile-an-hour bumper, but if you've ever been rear-ended or ran into something in a VW Bug,
yeah,
you can taco that bumper like nobody's business. So that just helps out a little bit. Yeah, that's really about it. It's a fun car. So underneath, some of the other stuff you didn't see was I put in a truss bar system in the rear, which strengthens, basically goes from the shock towers, goes across. Then it's got legs that come down attached to the frame horns, which is the pivot point basically for the engine and transmission. So what it does, it preloads those the frame horns. So when you put power to it, you can eliminate your wheel hop and it doesn't flex like it normally does. But when you do stuff like that, you tend to break stuff. So I'm hoping to break the transaxle real quick. The wife's not here; she can't hear this. She probably won't see this video. But so my goal is to use the 2180 to blow up the transaxle, so then I can go close ratio gears, super diff, polished axles, all the goodies, the go fast stuff. And then once I get that tranny, and then my goal is to blow up the dune buggy motor, so I can resurrect my my 2025cc motor. That's it's a 73 stroke crankshaft, so it's a 63 millimeter VW counterweight crankshaft, machined off center to 2-inch Chevy journals. So I got 5.7 Chevy rods, running an FK87 cam with 1/4-to-1 Autocraft rockers on it, which gives me 561 thousandths lift at the valve, 320 degrees rotation, ported polished heads by Frank Herbst back in the day in Chula Vista. And it's just a real fun motor. It's got a lot of pep. You know, because you are slinging those big rods around, the bottom end isn't so tough, but you know, once you get those RPMs going, really it starts making, you know, it's real torquey up to about 3 grand. But then once you go above that, that weight just keeps going. The motor spins up, and it's just, you know, with the close ratio tranny, for a 2-liter, a small 2-liter, it really moves out.
Yep.
But, so that's my goal. I got to blow stuff up one thing at a time. But for right now, it's running, it's driving, so it's going to stay that way. I do drive it to work. I drive it around town. I do some errands in it. So for those that say it's a garage queen, trailer queen, you know what? I do run it around in the trailer. Got it. But I'm not going to drive 300 miles in a Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah.
Not doing it. I'm older. I like comfort, but going down to a car show in St. Augustine, which is about an hour drive for us here. I'll drive it down there. I love cruising around town because there's a lot of VWs in Florida, a lot of nice VWs, but you don't see them on the road as frequently as you would, like in Southern California, Arizona, Texas. So it's really fun to take it out and drive. You get a lot of looks, a lot of thumbs up. You know, like VW owners everywhere, you stop somewhere and someone's always going to come up to you and they're going to say, well, yeah, I remember when I, you know, was a kid, I had a Volkswagen. They'll tell you their stories, and you know, it just brings back a lot of emotions for people. And you know, for me, I like them. That's what I learned to work on. They're very easy to work on. They're basic, so I cut my teeth on this, and then you advance into the other stuff. You know, internal combustion is internal combustion. Just all the new stuff has all the electronics and stuff that goes with it. But if you have a foundation in the old school stuff and how to tune carburetors by ear, and you know, do all that stuff, everything makes a lot more sense when you get into the electronic stuff to tune it, and definitely makes your life a lot easier when you can open up a laptop and change some things around. All right, so here Daniel goes. First time driving the Bug.
Yep. It's got a roller pedal too for the gas, which is pretty sick.
It's kind of old school, but you know, hey, I'm old.
Pretty sweet. So let's see if I still.
He didn't stall. Just keep going straight. Going to third. There you go. Keep going. A lot different. So everything in here is it's a mechanical clutch, no hydraulic, and it's a heavy-duty pressure plate, so it takes a little bit more. So we're just cruising along, third gear, doing about 30 miles an hour, running about 2,500 RPM. So this motor has a small cam in it. It's an Engel 120 DeMello 82 millimeter crankshaft, but it's still got plenty of pep for the street. Get on the freeway and cruise, no problem.